So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. Was suburban man who allegedly fired a weapon at a vacant Southside park early Thursday was also driving with four of the weapons, including an AR-15 rifle, more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and handwritten notes about mass shootings. Alexander Podgorny, a 29-year-old Woodbridge resident, has been charged with 5 felony counts of unlawful use of a weapon following the troubling encounter at Moran Park near 57th Street and Rancy Avenue in Inglewood. A gunshot detection system alerted police to a round fired there about 3:30 a.m. Responding officers found the man near his minivan at the scene with a loaded handgun in his pocket. No one else was at the park. Inside the minivan, officers found a loaded shotgun, an AR-15, and two other handguns, all readily accessible and ready to be fired, along with more than 1,000 rounds of ammo and more than 300 spent shell casings of various calibers. It is said that the man also had been traveling with a hatchet and a pruning saw. Officers stated that they also found a large number of notes with incoherent rants and references to mass shooting events. They also said that the man ranted to them, quote, about his brother, drug addiction, and his missing dog as he was taken into custody, and had a valid firearms owner's identification card, but not a concealed carry license, according to police who have filed a clear and present danger report with the Illinois State Police. That's the first step in revoking a person's FOID card to confiscate their weapons, a state process that has come under scrutiny in the wake of the Highland Park mass shooting. The officers notified federal authorities about the man's case due to the nature of the call and the quantity of weaponry recovered and the disturbing content of the handwritten documents. Cook County Judge Mariam Ahmad ordered the man jailed at $300,000 bail during a Friday hearing. He is still in custody as of Saturday, according to the Cook County Sheriff's Office.
Another one.
Police stated that they arrested 29-year-old Alexander Pagorny of Woodbridge last Thursday after a shot spotter alerted them to a single round being fired near Moran Park. Quote, if this happened up in Highland Park, it would be on the news each and every day of the week. Sincerely. But just because this is a black community, nobody appears to really care. According to the police report, a city POD camera captured a man, quote, firing what appeared to be a shotgun into the park. Police stated a search of Pagorny and his minivan turned up a shotgun, 3 handguns, and an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and a hatchet. The report stated that all firearms were readily accessible and ready to be fired. Quote, obviously, he had weapons, a cache of ammunition that he fired randomly. We don't know what could have happened. Was it a domestic terrorist threat going on in this community? Somebody tell us something. In addition, police recovered a large number of handwritten notes that allegedly contained incoherent rants about references to mass shooting events. Pagorny was charged with 5 counts of felony unlawful use of a weapon and is currently free after posting 10% of the $300,000 bond. Quote, we're told he's on electronic monitoring now. Likely, we're looking at other charges. So this is further proof of the reason why you have some of the people there stating that if this was a suburban community, this would be everywhere. People would be really talking about it. It'd be all over the news, right? Versus when it's in a black area, nobody really cares. The population density in Inglewood is 30% lower in Chicago. The median age in Inglewood is equal to Chicago. In Inglewood, 1.28% of the population is white. In Inglewood, 95.31% of the population is black. And 0.27% of the population is Asian. So we can obviously see that the overwhelming majority of the people there are black. So why is it, do you think, that a 29-year-old Caucasian male would come from the suburbs yet again and go directly into a black area with a whole bunch of weapons and decide to start firing? Anybody? Anybody? But like I told people before, this is why I say the things that I state. You don't have incidences like this on a consistent basis where black people are like, you know what, let me just go to like everybody else's community and let me just, start doing this type of stuff. And then matter of fact, let me just take out, like 50 people. Let me just do that. Let me just do that. You don't have black people doing that. You don't. We're not the ones trying to go out there to other people's communities and commit those type of acts. Now, some people are going to deflect, and then we're like, you know what? You're right. That's because you guys do it to yourself oh so often. Why, instead of focusing on this, why aren't you guys all focusing on the things that are going on within the community? Well, genius. For those in a peanut gallery, if you look at a lot of the black communities and you look at a lot of the grassroots activists, you have multiple groups within that community who are actually focused, right, on bringing down the crime within proximity that takes place within black communities. As well as you have that, you have other individuals that are focused on crimes that have nothing to do with black people doing those crimes. So, like I said before, don't act like black people can't multitask or that's just not a feasible or a plausible way in order to correct the situation. Like I said before, it's amazing to me when people want to act like things like this don't exist, and then they want to be like, you know what, black people should just focus on what it is negatively that black people are doing to other black people. And then after you 100%, after you 1000% correct every single bit of that, then you can worry about the whole world. But yet these are the same people that when black people are like, you know what, we're just going to focus on ourselves. We're just going to build our own selves up. We're going to put money back within our own community. We're going to buy up the block, buy up businesses, and educate ourselves and different things of that nature. Those are the same people that told us, right, to focus on black people. When we say that we're going to now focus on us in this type of way when it deals with money, now they're like, oh no, that's racist. That's discriminatory. That doesn't make any sense. We're all in this together. We all profit from everything else. You shouldn't just, like I said before, it's funny how people want you to focus on one thing, but then when money is the aspect of the situation, now it's an everybody type of situation. It affects everybody. That's not fair to everybody, right? Like I said before, black people, this is why you just solely need to focus on whatever it is that is going on in the community, however it is that you can, in a sense, better the circumstances that are happening. And also make sure that you educate yourself on self-defense, on arming up, on legally being able to carry, having your license, knowing how to disarm somebody, knowing about tactical vest, and all of these other types of things. Like I said, the internet is a blessing and a curse when it comes to black people. Please let the blessing shine forth and go educate yourself on the information that people are freely giving out to you. There's literally a library worth of information when it deals with firearms, firearms training, different types of classes, and everything like that. Even if you in your own state, right? Because I get this a lot. People are like, oh, well, you can't do X, Y, and Z with a firearm in my state, so what am I supposed to do? Even if you are not able to carry, you should still know the ins and outs of a weapon, or at least standard issue weapons that people tend to more than likely use for a variety of weapons, how those weapons work, the amount of time that it basically takes for, the triggers, or, how things in a sense move mechanically, so that you are aware and that you can automatically start to like think about certain things when you just so happen to see it. Like I said before, my whole main thing is you can't be prepared for everything, but at least you know something. You're not strictly out there naked and ignorant out in the wilderness and you don't know how to fend for yourself. At least you know how to create a fire by getting a little bit of string and rubbing a stick together with some rocks, or having a little bit of kindling to basically make some sparks with two rocks, and to create a fire so you can get heat, and then hopefully you're able to start a campfire and different things of that nature. Like I said, at least you have something. That's my whole main thing. Like I said, I'm tired of excuses from people as to why it is that, in a sense, they want to stay ignorant. Just because you can't do one thing doesn't mean you can't read up and learn about the information. Like I said, you can learn it now and save it for later. That's how I look at it. You guys want to sit up there and cook food and y'all will save it 2 to 3 days, later on. People do meal preps and they'll prep for like a week straight. Like I said before, if people are able to meal prep and do different things like that, you can easily do the same thing with information. Information is some of the most valuable stuff directly out there, and it is free. Like I said before, do the things that you need to do as a community quick, fast, and in a hurry, because people are running tests out here and they're seeing what they can get away with and what they cannot get away with. They already know that the defenses are very low in the black community because we don't have any type of groups to, in a sense, intercept any of these individuals if they show up. We have to do what? Wait for the police. And by the time the police comes, as we all know in the black community, it's too late. So would you rather, in a sense, have people there or be the first response? Or would you rather wait until it's too late and then we have another event like you have directly in Tops or anywhere else? That's all I'm saying. Everybody has a full-fledged right to legally defend themselves from anybody who is both inside of the community and people who are outside of the community. If they feel as though that harm is going to be done directly on them, if their life is directly in danger, if they need to properly defend their family, their friends, their neighbors, their dwelling, go out there and get the information so that you can do that. Because the last thing that I want to see is this dude or somebody else like him copycatting around the United States and deciding to enact the exact same thing, but in that instance, he's actually successful.